Okay, welcome back guys for another video. In today's session, it's going to be a strategy session. I'm going to teach you guys how to know when to buy the dip, because so many traders sometimes they want to buy the dip and they get burned so many often because they don't know how to timing, they don't know what to look for specifically. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to buy the dip where you have some low risk with a bigger reward. So that's what this video will be about. So make sure to focus. It's not gonna be long. I'm gonna teach you guys what to look for specifically so you can catch the bottom of the market or the stock that you're trading in. So in today's example, it's going to be on the trade desk. That's the stock we're going to talk about. So quick context behind this stock really quick. Here you can see a big gap right here. This stock had their earnings and we have a strong sell-off. I think this stock is down more than 38%, 39% altogether. Hit that low and close about was around 38, 39%. So this stock had a big move to the downside. And when sometimes a stock has earnings, the best opportunity can happen post the earnings, because there's a big news. We're gonna have some big move because we have volatility. A lot of shares are being traded. So wherever we have a lot of shares being traded, that's when we can actually have a big move happening. So sometimes you want to watch every stock. All right, they have the earnings. You can actually watch some specific one, and if you're a day trader, you can actually catch a big move, especially on Fridays. If you can catch a right move, you can make some nice return. So in this example, we're going to talk about the trade desk and how you could have bought the dip in this example, what to look for, at least what I'm looking for when I'm trying to buy the dip. All right, so that was a quick context about this trade. So what I'm going to do here is to actually go to the 50-minute time frame really quick. So what to look for is pretty simple. When you see a stock like this having a strong move to the downside, most likely, all right, we can actually continue to have a continuation of that same move to the downside. And at some point, this right here will be, getting oversold. All right, so that's mean the asset at some point will be looking more cheaper, and people will look to buy the dip. Or it always happens. Rarely that the stock is going down, you go down all the way up, all the way down right here. At some point in time, we're gonna have opposing price action pressure that will come. So if you go down at one point, it will be looking cheaper for some people over the short term. All right, so because there's different type of trade in the market, there's different amount of different type of money coming to the market. There's short term money, all right, or daily money, for example. There's like a trader position, let's say for the weekly position. All right, there's monthly, there's yearly. So the different traders coming to the market with different intention. Right? And when we day trade, it's usually over the day. Right, you trade much trying to make that money go to work for the day. Just like, let's say in a time frame, maybe only 15 minutes for the day. You want to actually make that money work, either having the risk, lose money on 15 minutes or make some money on 15 minutes, that having capital going to work for you based on the setup you're looking for. So in this example, I'm going to talk about how to find that dip right here. So we can see at one point of time, the stock definitely, bounced right here. All right. So I want to talk about how to actually find when the best time to actually buy something, to actually cut that kind of move right here. This right here, it's already happened. All right. But if you look in the price action live, you wouldn't know when to enter because you wouldn't know what to look for. And I'm going to teach you guys exactly what to look for. All right, so you can actually catch the reversal that we have here and actually make some good return on your money. So first, what not to do? What not to do is, it's not because we should dropping, we need to go and buy right away because they look cheaper. We want to actually let the price action slow down and show that, okay, we have some reversal happening. All right, we need to see opposite price action, opposite pressure coming to the market. So if we're trying to trade again the selling pressure, all right, we need to see some sign of buying pressure first before looking for entry. Right? We need to have some type of interest, buying, what I call BI, buying interest. All right, so that's what you want to look for. You want to look for buying interest before looking to actually buy the dip, as the stock price is pretty much going weaker and weaker. The selling pressure is higher. So if you want to actually catch the dip, you want to see some buying interest. And how do you identify that buying interest? It is pretty simple. So here I'm currently on a 15-minute time frame. So if you day trade, you should definitely look at the 15-minute time frame to do different analysis. Or 15-minute time frame is a really strong time frame for day traders. Right? I actually have the 50-minute time frame as a momentum time frame. That's why I would go to find my momentum. If I want to catch something based on momentum, this is a really good time frame for the day to find some momentum. So definitely look at the 50-minute time frame to see how the price action look like, how the momentum looks like. So if you can look at on this price action right here, you can see on 15-minute time frame since the market open, you have a nice selling pressure. Or every candle, the momentum is strongly on the selling side. We can clearly see that the momentum is on the selling side. Only red candle from all the way up here since the open actually happened right here is all selling pressure coming down, making lower. The buy momentum didn't happen until here, and that's what we want to see before actually entering the stock for it. So one thing to see right here is to pretty much waiting for the price to actually establish the first 15-minute green candle first before we go for an entry. We want to see a change of momentum on the 15-minute time frame first, and then later we're gonna find the specific entry. That's the first thing, right? So the first step, all right, identify the momentum shift. All right, I'm gonna try to abbreviate that in a 15-minute before looking for a specific entry. That's the first step, because when you see that we are that momentum shift, all it's telling you is just that buying interest is showing up, and when that happens, that means the momentum can shift from sellers to buyers controlling the price action on the short term. And that's what you want. You want to actually be part of that momentum shift. That's all we're looking for. So here, what we're going to do here, I'm going to actually establish the low right here. I'm going to have a low price. Okay, what's the low of the day? I'm going to actually set that, because if you're going to have catch the momentum shift when the where is strong selling pressure, we need to actually have a low and not go below that low. Right? Because when we go below that low, that means the selling pressure is still present. Right? We make a low, and when we make it, if you want to actually catch the next move, we need to actually make higher lows compared to that low. All right. So in this example, all right, so we have that low at this level. All right. So we shouldn't be making any low price level. We need to actually making higher lows as we actually go up. That's what we want to look for. But here, once after establishing that momentum shift, what I'm going to do here, you want to go to the 5 minute, and that's what we're going to look for our entry. Right. We pretty much established our low of the day on a 15-minute time frame. Now we're going to 5 minutes. So that's where we're going to look for a specific entry for our trade. And actually, before actually going to the 5 minute, what we're going to do here as well, 15 minute, I forgot, is actually establish the high of the last red candle right here. We're going to establish how the last red candle at this level. So we're going to make this candle red. So we establish the last high, the high of the last red candle. We have to actually have that. And our entry will be as we actually break that high right here. That means we actually confirming the change of momentum, right? Because this was the high of the last red candle. And if you're actually making a higher price than that, that means the sellers are not able to actually push the price lower and keep making a lower high. Right? So at this level, when we actually break it, we're making higher highs, and that means we have a change of structure that may happen, and that can confirm our change of momentum. Pretty simple. So where do we find that entry specifically? Because we don't want to actually wait. We don't want to enter on the 15 minute because we have to wait too long, and you can see that cannot close all the way here. That's when you're mixing all that potential profit right here. That's why we have to go on the lower time frame and find an early entry, so you can actually buy something cheaper and you can sell it higher later. For this strategy, I will use the 5 minute. Right. I go to the 5 minute, and what I will look for the first candle close or the 5 minute right here. And what I want to see a higher volume compared to the previous green candle. Or we actually see that here as well. We have a higher volume on this candle right here compared to this one. Pretty simple. So this is the volume right here. This is that volume, and that's another confirmation, because we need to see some strength from that buying entry. It shouldn't be, so we don't want to get faked out. We don't want to actually see a break and actually go down. So that's something we need to see, increasing volume as we actually break that level. So this was the high from the last red candle, and we actually breaking. So this right here will be our entry trigger. All right. And if you're a safer trader, if you want to look for, a safer entry, you can actually trade, instead of trading the breakout, you can actually trade a retest at that level. And sometimes what do you forget about a retest, that will be a safer entry, but sometimes it doesn't happen. For example, in this example, if you were waiting for the retest and using the break and retest strategy, then you probably miss that move. But this right here, when we talk about changing momentum, usually it's really strong. That's why it is really powerful, because it's strong. Sometimes we're not gonna have time for the retest, because when it comes here, we're pretty much taking over the sellers. Because again, we have a change of momentum. Right. Momentum is really strong. If you go down, we're going down strong. If you go up, we're going up strong. So that's what we're going to catch. And that is really strong. And that's when it doesn't work right away. You can know. All right. If you keep making lower lows and you close below it, most likely, all right, if you come down here, then you're going to get stopped. And you know that the momentum is still on that direction. It's really clear, it's really simple. Your risk will be down here. If you get down here, that's the red zone. That's the red flag that most likely is not gonna turn around, and you wanna get out and cut your loss short. But if you can see that we have a break above it, that's a confirmation. Okay, we can actually go higher. We have the volume confirmation. Let's look for an entry here and look at this. Right? If you actually enter here, look at that momentum change right here. That's a nice move that you're gonna make money easy, really straightforward, really easy. Right? And you can actually determine your profit target. That's how simple you can actually catch it. Right? Pretty simple. Establish your low right here. Pretty simple. You have a low, change your momentum, identify your entry. You start from the 50-minute. Right? Identify that momentum change and go to the 5-minute. Find your entry trigger above the high red candle on the 15-minute, and you're good. Oh, that's all it is. Now, you know what? Let me actually let's put some tests here on this. Right? So this will be low of the day, and this will be high of last 15-minute candle. Pretty simple. Just to actually show you guys, just to label those so you guys know exactly what they are. Pretty simple. If you have any question, make sure to put on a comment. I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.